Exactly.
So is it AI or is it reality?
Well, I don't think that's the only thing he's kissing. Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello.
That was beautiful.
Welcome to another episode.
Hello, everyone. And
Welcome back.
We're back. We're back.
We're back.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're doing the weekly episodes again. One of them will be members only.
This is true. This
Yes.
is very true, guys.
So this is a public one.
Yes.
But if you want to join, our memberships,
Mm-hmm.
our YouTube memberships are open and ready for joining.
Mm-hmm.
And same with Patreon, patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Exclusive content, ad-free content, shout outs, and
All sorts of fun stuff.
all sorts of fun stuff.
Mhm.
So lots of news, lots of Trump news. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
God.
guys. I know.
This is becoming the Trump cast.
But this happened last time.
I know.
Some people are saying that he's doing so much to like confuse, because it's like they're doing like a million things and it confuses people, and then he's like in the back doing some other shady shit.
Yeah. I mean, all of it's just shady as fuck.
It's all fucking shady as fuck.
Like, I just, Trump is the figurehead, obviously, right? But like, there's a team that works with him. So
exactly.
like,
There's like a strategy here.
there's a strategy of not just.
But he's been golfing. That's what he does. That's what
Yeah.
he's been doing half
Yeah.
the time of his presidency.
So a lot of these like things that he's, orders that he's signing off on and stuff
Yeah.
and all this stuff, it's like not necessarily even like his idea.
He
It will
could just be like,
exactly. His team will be like,
Sure.
It will be like if you're our figurehead and I'm like, okay, Rose, I need you to sign this work order. I need you to do this. And you're like, yes.
I do wonder how much is he behind the whole thing?
Yeah.
Or how much is it, are you okay with the mic there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, I mean, who the fuck knows?
Exactly.
I
And
guess we'll never know.
How much of it is like,
Elon Musk?
Oh my God. That's another thing too. Like there's been so much talk about this Elon Musk shit. And like people are like, why the fuck is he so involved in
Everything.
Like this is a private citizen. Like you're not a government official. You were never elected. Like people did not say we're voting for Elon Musk to be advisor to the president. Like,
I know.
And yet he's there. He's in there fucking.
I know. Fucking everything up.
Exactly. And it brings us to our first story.
So this is kind of a funny story.
It is a funny story.
So I guess a video, an AI video, which, I mean, I don't know how I feel about AI. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea where we're going.
It's not a good idea.
Okay.
Like AI has so much implications on so many different levels, right?
Yeah.
We already have, I think even before AI is starting to really take off now, even before that, we had issues or I don't want to say issues, but like determining the validity of stories and content on online anyway, regardless. Before AI was even around, it was like, ooh, is this a real story? Is this is this fake? Blah, 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 blah. Now with AI, it's just like they could do videos or have, what do they call it? Deep fakes, all this crazy shit. But this one's kind of a funny one. There was an AI generated video, and I think it's
this I can get behind.
Oh yeah, this is fucking funny. That showed President Donald Trump appearing to kiss the bare feet of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So like just basically, I think that really emphasizes how a lot of people
What's
are
actually
feeling.
going on.
Exactly.
So is it AI or is it reality?
Well, I don't think that's the only thing he's kissing. I think there might be a little bit of
there might be things going on behind the scenes there.
Some
I don't
kissing
know.
and some sucking going on as well. Let me tell you.
So this fake video, which to HUD, what is HUD?
Department of Housing
and Urban Development.
Yeah.
Okay, employees confirmed to NBC News was displayed on internal monitors in the office, which shows Trump appearing to massage and peck at Musk's feet.
I need to see this video.
Wait, can we watch it?
Can we actually, because I kind of want to see it now. Just say like, do you think it'll be on YouTube? Well, it probably will be.
And it says, "Long live the real king." This makes me very uncomfortable.
Oh my God, it's so awkward to watch, guys, but it is so fucking funny. and it was played in a U.S. government office. Oh my God. It is so...
It was played in the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, like in the government office, guys.
Oh, where Trump...
And he is not just kissing, okay?
No,
he
no.
is sucking on some toes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God, it's so uncomfortable.
It is so uncomfortable.
It's like kind of like watching Trump porn.
Oh,
like nobody needs to see this.
Let's stop it. Let's stop it now. This is just too much. So guys, if you want to watch the video,
Oh.
go onto YouTube, type in Trump kissing Musk feet, and you will find a video of him doing it. And he's really just kind of, he's just taking it and just making love to those little, piggies.
It is enthusiastic.
Oh, I mean,
That is putting an image that I do not want to see, but also it's kind of fucking funny.
it is funny.
Okay, well, I want to play a game.
Okay, what's the game?
Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, no.
Okay. Trump,
Yeah.
Elon Musk, Joe Rogan.
Oh, my God.
I know my answer, but I want you to go first.
Oh, my God. This is a really hard one. This is like the trifecta of like three fucking people I hate. So it's fuck, marry, or kill,
Yes.
right? So I guess I would fuck Elon Musk. I would marry Joe Rogan.
Okay.
And I would kill Donald Trump.
Okay, so explain your reasoning here.
Okay, so the reasoning is Joe Rogan in my mind is like the lesser of the three evils.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm like, you know what? I can deal with living with him and like married to him.
Yeah, like
in my mind.
As much as I do not like him, I don't think he's like that bad.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I could deal with it. Now, then it came down to the two. Okay, I have Elon or Donald. Who would I rather just fuck once? Okay, who would I rather sleep with just one time, get it over and done with? There is no way on this God's earth, even if you were to give me like $10 million, that I am going anywhere near Donald Trump.
Right. Okay.
I'm like,
Yeah,
the man
I
just
know.
repulses me. Like,
I know. So that video was just not
it wasn't
an
doing
image
anything
I would
for
like.
No. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to sleep with Musk at all. But like, if I was gun to my head between the two of them, I would have sex with him first.
Interesting.
What were your answers? What were your answers now, Rose?
Well, they're different than yours.
What?
So I would fuck Joe Rogan. Because I cannot, obviously I can't fuck Donald Trump. Like,
Yeah.
let's be for real.
Yeah,
I can't fuck Elon Musk. Let's also be so for real.
this is true.
Like, Joe Rogan is the most fuckable out of all the
He
three.
is. And
Okay,
he's-
let's be real.
He's a good-looking man.
Like, I'm not into Joe Rogan, but like if I
Yeah.
were to fuck one of them, yeah, it would be Joe Rogan.
Fair. Okay.
And now I'm gonna marry Donald Trump because he's old as fuck. He's out golfing anyway. I'm probably never gonna see him. I can just use his money. He's gonna die. I'll inherit his money. Great.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to kill Elon Musk because I fucking hate Elon Musk.
Interesting.
I mean, I would like to kill both of them.
I would like to. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to kill Joe Rogan. I'll
No.
be nice to him enough. I can
Yeah,
just
yeah.
leave him alone. Whatever.
He can just keep doing his
But-
little thing, and eventually
There
our
you
podcast will surpass his. So
Actually, this is another piece of news. Joe Rogan's podcast was number one. Who is listening to Joe Rogan still? Like, I actually don't understand. But anyways,
the Joe Bros.
the Joe Bros.
Yeah.
So his podcast, I guess, was like number one, but it got over. Now it's in the number 2 spot.
Who's number
And it
one?
was beat by this like kind of like
Call her dad.
anti-Trump kind of news political show called The
Oh.
Midas Touch. Very interesting.
That is interesting. Mr. Rogan has been dethroned. Temporarily, probably, but
Yeah.
you never know. Like that's
Well, I think it's also because now, especially with the whole, Elon Musk and Trump fiasco, and people are realizing like how bad things are. These like anti-Trump kind of shows are probably having its moment.
Yeah.
And especially because Joe is like kissing Elon Musk. I mean, that might as well be Joe Rogan as well. Like that fucking AI video, because Joe Rogan's like, oh my god, Elon Musk is such a super genius.
Everyone is so obsessed with
He's
Elon
not
Musk.
a super genius. He is like he's the worst.
Yeah.
Like I actually can't. Like I think I hate him more than Trump.
Isn't he like the definition of like a nepo baby?
He is literally a nepo baby. He's also like a fraudster. Like he
Yeah.
never actually like people think, and I also thought because like that's the narrative.
Yeah.
That he like created all these
Like
companies
Tesla
and did
and, like-
so much. Like he was like the founder of Tesla, but like he was not involved in any of like the original creation process. And
Yeah.
he just basically like put his name on things.
He's like the figurehead.
Exactly. And I'm not saying he didn't achieve anything. Like, I'm sure he did. Like, he was, like, involved with PayPal and all this shit.
Yeah.
But, like, most of what he's achieved is just, like, basically him, like...
Putting money into something.
And buying things. And buying things. And buying his money to be put on certain things.
Yeah.
And he, like, basically... like pay I don't know exactly what he did, but he basically like made it so that he was called the founder of Tesla when he wasn't the founder of Tesla.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like he's not the fucking founder.
It would be like if me and you founded a company and then somebody later on was like, I'm going to put like 100 million into your company and to grow it.
But I need to be known as the founder.
But I need to be known as the founder.
You can't even trust anybody when they're like, oh yeah, it's like I'm the founder of this. It's like, are you really?
Yeah, it's like, are you really, or did you just put like
there's a difference between a founder and an owner. Like we need to separate those two things.
Yeah.
But anyways,
oh my god! But still, this video is fucking funny.
Yes,
it's
but it's very disturbing.
It is because it's like it looks like he's like really into it.
I do not want to see videos of Trump engaging in any sort of sexual activity.
And it's like good AI. It looks legit.
I know. It's
like that's disgusting. The crazy thing. Like it looks.
Oh my god! I wonder if he saw it.
Oh, he definitely would have.
Oh my god! He probably lost his shit.
Oh, he probably would have been like, it was definitely done by China. China did it. That's just like anyway. So I just love, I love the caption as well though. Long live the real king, or long live the king.
Well, I'm hoping that all this talk about like Musk being like the real president, or will piss off Trump enough, and it'll create some
divide.
Drama.
Yeah.
Yes, because then it's like, oh, there's some drama. And then
who's
maybe
gonna be
it'll
involved.
be tumultuous. Who?
China.
Well, speaking of Trump and China and foreign relations.
All the foreign relations.
So this other moment went viral because I feel like every week 15 things go viral and it's all to do with Trump or Musk.
Oh my god, I hate it.
I know. I really I hate it
like
here.
What era are we in?
I don't know.
Like, I hate it. This
like,
is not...
I feel like we're living in some kind of comedy.
Yeah.
But it's not funny.
It's like right now I'm in my Trump era and I don't want to be. You know, maybe it's my anti-Trump era, but I'm just like
Your
surrounded by Trump.
Era. Everything is Trump. So basically, they had this, I don't even know what it's called, a meeting in the Oval Office. Like, what the fuck is the Oval Office? Basically, some government thing where the press was there and people were filming it. And then they had invited Zelensky, which is like the president of Ukraine, over. And Trump and the vice president, J.D. Vance, were just sitting there and just like, did you watch this clip?
I didn't see it.
They're just like yelling at this man. Not yelling, but basically it's like, oh, they're not really letting him talk. I didn't watch the full thing, to be fair. But basically, I guess Zelensky had come over to sign this mineral deal.
Yeah.
Okay, because basically U.S. is like, okay, we're going to help you, I guess.
With the Russian war.
With the Russia war. If you sign over your natural resources to us, which is the minerals.
Fucking hell.
And this is what U.S. does. Like, we need to realize this is what U.S. does.
Yeah.
They pretend to be the
ally.
righteous one. They pretend to be an ally. They pretend to help you. But ultimately, they want your resources. They're trying to take over your country. We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
And basically, they're like, we want your minerals, blah, blah, blah. And then Zelensky came to sign this deal, but it didn't go as planned because Trump and J.D. Vance were like, oh, you're being rude. You're not saying thank you, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what happened.
Yeah. It's crazy because like, I just feel like, the U.S. right now, and
I know.
I do feel, or I hope in my mind, because like obviously there's just been so much crazy shit. We're only in like month 2 of his presidency right now. We've only just passed the first month. As of February, 21st or something. So it's like a week into the month 2.
Yeah. So it hasn't even been like 2 months.
No. I'm hoping that all of this shit, because this is we've always kind of known this about the US, like you mentioned, like they're, exploiting some of these countries for their resources and stuff. But I think what's happening right now is they're actually like pissing off so many people.
Yes.
And not just people, so many other nations, right? Like they're pissing off China. They're pissing off Canada, Mexico, Europe. Like they're really just like pissing off a bunch of these people that I'm hoping that these countries
will come together
behind closed doors. Like we already have it a little bit with like the BRICS, they have their own little like trade agreements and things going on there. And they're also trying to move away from the reliance on the USD, for example. And like, cause a lot of the time, we talked about this before, a lot of the time when like two countries that maybe don't have as widely traded currency and shit, they'll like use the USD as like the common ground. So it's like, I'll pay you in USD and we'll kind of like use that as like the middle ground for the currencies. Whereas a lot of countries like the BRICS and stuff are trying to move away from that,
right,
and saying, actually, let's just not even, because then when we're using USD, it's like benefiting the US. So fuck that. We're going to just try to use our own currencies and stuff. And I think they've started doing this to try to like, again, cut out that reliance on the US.
Yeah. I think that's the only option because they're just a big bully, really.
They are. They really are. And they, you know, as much as they're like this economic superpower, there are certain things that the US does rely on other countries for. And like, it's just stupid how they're like pissing people off. They were talking about, I saw this other TikTok, kind of in line with like minerals and stuff. But apparently, I think it was potash or something, some kind of fucking mineral or whatever. And the US requirement was like 12 million tons that they need imported into their country. Okay. Right. To help them like grow shit. Like it helps with like fertilization of crops or some shit like this. Canada is like their biggest exporter. We export basically all of it to them. Okay. Right. Like 12 billion or something, 12 million, whatever units. And they were saying like if they cut that out, they could get it from Russia, but Russia only exports right now 6 million of these things. Okay. So they would only get half of what they need from Russia. Plus they'd have to, you know, obviously do negotiation with Russia. On top of that, because the US is like trying to like grow more of their own stuff and they want to be like more US reliant, they're going to need more of this mineral or whatever to like fertilize or whatever.
Sure.
So they
need more.
Exactly. Okay. And so without Canada, it's like, well, you're going to
kind of fucked.
Exactly. Like they're going to have to try to like pull pieces. Like it's getting stupid. And I just like, what I would love to see happen, guys, and I don't know if it's going to happen, is like I said, all of these other countries, Canada starts having big trade agreements with China, you know, Europe, which they probably already have some in place, but like just magnify it, you know, be like, you know what? Let's just get rid of these fucking bullies. Like, let's just not deal with them. Let them have their own little economy that they want to do. And let's focus on each other. Like, let's start like not using USD. Let's start fucking just trading with each other. Cause I'm sure if you take all of the economies of all the other countries, it's going to be larger than the US anyway.
Right.
China almost has the same size economy as the US.
Yeah. I think this is good for China. This whole like US. And also what I don't understand is like why Trump is like, now very much warming up to Russia.
I know.
So I don't really know what the strategy is here.
It's weird.
I don't really get it, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that you can't have some sort of diplomatic conversations with like Russia or whatever, but it's like, what are you doing? And like, why is this even happening? Maybe it's to like play his cards so he could get all of Ukraine. Yeah. So that he could be like, oh, because he's like warming up to Russia. So really Zelensky is going to be like scared and he's going to be like, oh, actually, okay, I'm going to give you all my shit. I don't fucking understand. Yeah. And some people say that like Ukraine, I guess in like the 90s, like gave up all their nuclear power and their nuclear weapons to US. Here's the one thing that like we need to all know about US policy. Never give up your nuclear weapons, because once you do that, they will fucking go in and they will fucking take over your fucking country. And this is why, as much as like, you know, we don't agree with North Korea or Russia or whatever the fuck, the reason why North Korea hasn't been like fully fucking taken over by the US is probably because they have nuclear weapons, and that's the only power that they have. Yeah. So it's like these countries that like give up their nuclear weapons and their power, like eventually they say, and usually it's like US is like, oh, we'll protect you, like we'll make sure nobody attacks you, we'll make sure that you're safe. But then they'll usually like years down the line, they'll like take over or like take your natural resources, take full advantage. Yeah. You know what's kind of crazy when we talk about like nuclear power and stuff as well, though? Because like nuclear is really like nowadays, like it's like that's what the power is. You know what I mean? Like, right. Because it can really fuck shit up. But apparently, if we look at all the nuclear bombs in the world, I remember seeing this stat. It was like we have so much nuclear power across the world that we could like blow up the earth like 2 or 3 times over. Like that's how much. It's fucking scary. Yeah, it's like that's why they can't touch countries with nuclear weapons, because it's like they're fucked. Exactly, because then if they decide to start going AWOL and bombing the US with nuclear shit. Yeah, well, think about what happened with the atomic bomb. Yeah, and like nuclear is like worse, isn't it? Well, I think that wasn't that a nuclear bomb? Is that the same thing? Yeah, I think it's like it uses. So what's the atomic bomb versus nuclear bomb? I think they're kind of similar. Okay. Because like atomic, I think. Need to know. Yeah. I don't know anything about bombs. Me neither. well, no. I think it just an atomic bomb and a nuclear bomb. They typically like the power comes from like splitting an atom or something, and that's what causes. Oh yeah, atomic bombs are a type of nuclear bomb. Yeah. That use fission to split atoms. Yeah, they split the atom, and because the atoms have so much like
power, like when you
stupid.
when you split them, it causes this huge like reaction, right? Like it's
and you
like
die within like a second.
well, yeah, it's like instant. Like if they like, I mean, look at what happened in Japan.
Yeah.
Right. Like if
so
they
scary.
like literally, I'm not like if they dropped a bomb, like an atomic bomb,
Like we just die right now
in Calgary, like we would just like if
and
it was,
it's not even just die. You just like become dust.
you would disintegrate.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's so creepy.
That's the power of these like devices. Like it's not even, and then even the people that do survive that maybe are a little bit out of the range of the fucking main explosion, they are subject to so much radiation that they end up dying pretty much anyway. I mean, anytime you have all of this like atomic nuclear, like look at the Chernobyl and all these things.
Yeah, Chernobyl is crazy.
Yeah. So like all of this stuff creates like radiation and all this, like it's fucked. But you're right. I feel like the countries that hold on to their nuclear power, it's the one like card they have where they're like, don't touch us.
Because usually it's for defense. Like, let's be real. It's to be like, hey, if you touch us, we have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like nobody wants to start. I mean, I would assume nobody wants to start a nuclear war.
No, nobody does, because that would,
we don't want another fucking Hiroshima situation.
No, that would be so fucking scary and just fucked on many ways.
Anyway, so people are very much, see, it says Zelensky, Trump, and U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance had a heated argument in front of the media in the Oval Office. The Ukrainian leader was told to leave without the deal being signed.
Yeah.
So basically Trump was all like, you have no cards right now. Like, you are not in a very good position. You're gambling with World War III, blah, 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 blah. But then people also say, like, I don't know what happened with Ukraine and Russia and like why this war started, but some people are saying that it's because Ukraine was like wanting to join NATO, and Russia and NATO is very like kind of anti-Russian, and they're trying to like push out Russia. And then Russia was like, okay, if Ukraine joins NATO, then they're surrounded by like they're kind of pushing into Russian territory, kind of.
Well, because isn't NATO, like I thought NATO was the North, isn't that what we're part of? Like Canada's part of NATO,
A lot of countries are part of NATO, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like North Atlantic Treaty
Organization?
I don't
That's like North American.
No, it's not the North American Trade Agreement.
North Atlantic Trade Agreement, is that it?
Wait a second.
I thought it was North American, but
No, I wasn't sure either what it stood for. NATO. So NATO is, wait a second, not the NATO expansion.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, we're thinking about
NAFTA.
NAFTA. That's what you're thinking.
I'm thinking
the North American Free Trade Agreement is what you're thinking about. But NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Right. Okay. There's too many of these fucking like NATO, NAFTA, fucking OPEC, fucking.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
But I guess what the, like, my mom was telling me about this. Like, my parents know a lot more about, you know, world affairs. But essentially, I guess Europe is like a lot, like basically Europe is part of NATO, and Ukraine is like an interesting country because it's like a lot of them have like Russian, you know, like it's very tied to Russia. Like they're very like they speak, you know, a lot of Ukrainians speak Russian. They come from like very similar culture and a lot of family members. It's all very tied together. But I guess like they were saying that they wanted to join NATO and they wanted to like get US approval. Like basically they wanted to like buddy with US, and we know US is against Russia and NATO is against Russia.
Right.
So basically what people are saying is it's like some people, I don't know what the truth is, but some people are saying that because like Ukraine wanted to join NATO, when they said they didn't want like I guess one of the agreements was like, okay, well, if you join NATO, like you can't expand NATO into Ukraine, then we're going to attack because I don't know if they said we're going to attack, but that's what like people are saying. And it's like, okay. So then really the US should have been like, okay, yeah, we're going to take care of you, Ukraine, since you wanted to join NATO and you wanted to be part of us. And like, if you're part of NATO, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think they ever joined NATO.
No.
And so Ukraine's just kind of like, literally they're kind of fucked. Cause like, it's like, okay, so they're not part of NATO. And now US is like, well, we're not really going to help you anymore.
Fuck.
And then,
unless you give us all your minerals.
And even then, like, are you really going to help? It's probably just going to become US land, to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
Like, let's be for real.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to just move a bunch of US companies in there and like just develop it into US land.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
God damn, they want to take over the world.
And then Russia's there, and then I don't know what the fuck.
God damn, Rosie.
God, it's so confusing.
It also is like a really fucking scary time, and
I know,
nervous.
it's so fucking sad.
Ugh, I'm nervous. So anyway, I guess the agreement has not been reached, and more to come on this one.
War's still happening.
Oh God.
Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen?
So apparently the Zelensky left it at, however, he has said he would return to the White House if he's invited.
God.
So
I think one of the things that they were saying was like, why don't you wear a suit? You should have worn a suit, because he wasn't wearing a suit. He's like, I'm in the middle of a war here.
Yeah. It's like,
and also everyone's pointing out, like, look at what Elon Musk wears like on a regular basis. He literally wears like caps and fucking like hoodies and like fucking ridiculous outfits.
Exactly.
And they're like, well, he's not the one negotiating, blah, 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 blah. God, it's just, the whole thing is like, we're just playing a giant game with people's lives.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing here.
And it's scary. It's
Bunch
really
of old men on a power trip. They're all just fucking...
in a dick swinging contest.
Yes.
Mine's bigger. Mine's bigger. No, mine's bigger.
Speaking of old people.
Oh my God. Here's more.
So there was another AI video that Trump posted.
Yeah.
FYI. Trump posted this.
Oh, this makes it so much worse.
It was like a Trump Gaza video where basically it was like, I guess it was his vision for Gaza, and because he's been toying around with this idea of, okay, making Gaza this like resort town.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a resort, like
so dystopian.
Beach vibes. It's gonna be like all this sort of stuff.
Money just fucking flying everywhere.
Like almost like a Dubai situation. I feel like
kind of like he's trying to turn it into Dubai.
Yeah, that exact vibe, but owned by the U.S.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, not. So this would be a U.S. Dubai.
Trump Dubai.
Trump Dubai, yeah.
So he called it Trump Gaza. And then there's like video of, again, this is all AI, but basically there's like a video of like a big giant gold Trump statue in the middle. I'm like, fucking hell, you mock North Korea? This is literally what you're doing here?
Yes.
Like, we can't even mock North Korea or any other fucking countries because what the actual fuck is going on here?
It's actually crazy. We should watch it. I want to see it.
Oh my God. You haven't seen it?
No.
I've seen parts of it. And there's also like a video of, and people are like, did you even watch this? Because it's like so weird. There's like Elon Musk like feasting, him like throwing money, and a bunch of kids like grabbing onto money. Okay, we're going to play it and I'm going to describe to you what's happening. So it says 2025, what's next? And it's like obviously Gaza and it's in ruins. And now it's showing like Gaza looking beautiful. There's palm trees. Elon Musk is eating a fucking meal. Bearded belly dancers. Trump balloon that's gold. It looks gorgeous. People are partying. Elon's throwing money on the beach. There's a Trump hotel. Elon's eating hummus. There's a giant fucking Trump gold statue. Elon and fucking, what's his goddamn name? The Prime Minister of Israel. What the fuck is his name?
Oh, fuck.
Bibi Netanyahu. Netanyahu's like fucking...
No,
not Elon. Trump and Netanyahu are like
having
laying
a beer.
there, having a beer, sunbathing. And it's just...
It's crazy.
Such a weird dystopian video. And like, what is happening?
It's so bad. It's so
basically,
bad.
it's literal. He's like celebrating the fact that all these people are been kicked out of their homes. They've been killed. And now they're just going to fucking...
capitalize the shit out of that and make a shit ton of money.
That was the entire point to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how like in the beginning they were like, oh, this war, it's defense.
Yeah.
Because Hamas is killing all of us.
Yeah.
Really?
And then you're like,
this was the entire point.
Interesting, because now it looks like you want to turn it into a resort. Yeah.
Like everyone that's actually paying attention knew that that was the entire point, is that they wanted to take over the land, and they were just using this whole Hamas thing as an excuse to go and illegally fucking attack this entire place full of people, drive them all out, make it unlivable.
Yeah.
So then later on they could be like, well, it's not really livable anymore, is it?
Yeah. This is nuts.
Yeah.
I just cannot.
It's insane. So it's like, oh, and the fact that like he was sitting there with Netanyahu like the other time when he was there, he was like, oh, well, you know, you can't really live in Gaza anymore. I mean, it's all in ruins. And he's sitting next to the guy that fucking caused the ruins.
I know.
And it's like, oh, but like, oh, it's going to be wonderful by the time we finish.
Yeah.
It's like, it's insane.
It's just insane. It's so bad.
Oh my God. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad. I can't even. Anyways, so that's the video that Trump decided to post. And even like his followers, I think, were being like, what the fuck is this?
I know. It's, oh God.
Anyway, next
story.
What's the next story?
It's another Trump one.
Oh, you guys, like, I don't know what else to talk about here.
I know. Well, this one's really quick about Trump.
Okay.
And the reason I wanted to talk about this is just, again, all of the ludicrousy that comes out of this man's mouth all the fucking time. So like one of the things that he said, and this is actually a little bit of an old story, so it's like from earlier this year. I mean, it's earlier in a sense that it's been in the last month and a half.
Yeah.
Or month and 1 week that President Trump's been in office. But essentially one of the things that came up with, he's talking about all these tariffs and all this other stuff. His whole thing about Canada was talking about how Canada makes it really difficult. He's like the U.S. What did he say? He was like something about how the U.S. I'm trying to remember exactly how he said it, but he was like, Canada benefits so much from the U.S. and we're just allowing them to do all these things. And
he basically said, we just give Canada
so much money. Give. Yeah.
We're like, we are just giving them this much money. And it's like, no, we're doing business together.
Exactly. And
we're
then
trading. We're like,
this is so true. And then he goes, well, you know what? One of his like arguments, he's like, you know what? American banks aren't allowed in Canada. This was his one thing. He's like, they make it so difficult for us. We can't even open up businesses there, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, first of all, there's a lot of U.S. companies here. Secondly, there are some U.S. banks here. Part of the reason is not that the U.S. banks aren't allowed to do business in Canada. The issue or the reason why a lot of banks don't do business here is because we have more regulation, right? So like we do have more regulation, so it's like a little bit harder to do business, but there's like consumer protections and all sorts of things. So like US banks have tried to break into the Canadian market. They're allowed to, but then they pull back quite often. There are a few, but they're like, oh, because of the high cost with all the regulations and complying with them, they're like, they look at the cost benefit.
Yeah.
They're like, the money we make, even though we'll make money, it's not enough to offset these costs. Right. So we're just not going to do business there. But they are allowed if they want to comply
so
with.
He's basically spreading misinformation.
Exactly. And people have called him out. There was like this TikTok that went viral and people were like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Because there are US banks 100% in Canada.
Yeah.
So like, what the fuck? There's not many.
Lies just spew out of this guy's mouth.
I know.
Like they have literally put a lying psychopath in office.
I know. And the crazy thing is like, there's so many things. Like what blows my mind is you shouldn't have to have a like fact check on every single thing that the president says. But there literally has to be a fact check on everything he says because he just makes
he just makes things up.
He waffles on the spot. He waffles about the most random shit. And it's like, it's crazy. It's honestly like, I have no words.
There was this one comedian that I don't know if it went viral, but I saw this video and he was like British and he was basically like, yeah, us in the US, we're very similar, but just like, in different levels. Like, for example, like we have stupid people, but you have stupid people, but your stupid people are really fucking stupid. And then he said something, he said it in a funnier way. And then he was like, and for example, the village idiot our village idiot is just sitting in a park talking to random people. Your village idiot is president.
Yeah. It's so true. Like it's
like you literally, I can't.
Switching gears. Finally, some non-Trump stories. Go
ahead, Daniel.
So apparently, allegedly, there's been talk, there's been some whispers. For those of you that don't remember, Fyre, the catastrophe, the infamous
Fyre Fest, which never happened.
Exactly, which obviously we all saw the documentary.
Oh, I need to rewatch that. That was a good documentary.
You know what the funny thing is? I also want to rewatch it. I remember the first time watching it, and I remember this feeling. The documentary is actually quite well done because I actually started to feel anxiety. Like I was like, holy shit, because as they got closer to the launch
you're like,
date,
oh my God, this event's going to be a disaster.
Exactly. The whole time I was just like, oh my God. And then it's like, people are flying there and we don't even have shit ready. And I was just like, oh my, it's like, it's like that train wreck that you can't walk away from. And they'll never forget. There's one line that like this poor guy from the documentary, this is going to go down in history. Is they were having the water situation. How he was like, you know what? And he's like, this isn't going to go on the documentary, right? He's like, of course.
They had a water issue where basically they didn't have enough water or something. So he was going to go and negotiate with some guy.
With the minister.
To give them water. And then.
And he's like, you know what? I was going to take one for the team. I was fully prepared to go there and suck the guy's dick so that we would get water.
And we were all like, what did he just say?
I know everyone of the like.
I'm pretty sure everyone rewinded it being did he just say
did he just say he was going to suck the guy's dick? And that's on there forever. Like, okay, I'm sorry.
He's famous for that now.
He is. Like, there's probably a fucking million memes of him.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, dude, if I was ever in a documentary, there are certain things I would not say.
Yeah, because you know it's going to be on there.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to be like, oh, you guys won't put this on there, right? Well, I was fully prepared to go suck that guy's dick for water.
Hey, I mean, he's going to take one for the team.
This is true.
What a team player.
He was a team player, apparently. But anyway, so that we all know the catastrophe that was the original Fyre Festival. Allegedly, there is a new Fyre Festival.
Didn't they say this a few months ago too?
Yeah, there's been like whispers of it about this Fyre Festival 2 that's supposed to take place in Mexico. Apparently, tourism and local officials in Mexico deny any knowledge of this festival, but tickets apparently went on sale.
Yeah, when tickets to the second Fyre Festival went on sale this week, there was just one concrete detail. It would take place on the Isla Mujeres,
which is a place that I lived.
Yeah, a tropical island off Cancun, Mexico, which is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
But the festival seems to be repeating its own... But here's the thing. Fool me once, shame on you.
Yes.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Why would I book Fyre Festival 2 unless I'm made of money and I just want to see the shit show that goes down?
I think that's an element to it. I think there's some some people are probably like, I'm just going to buy a ticket to see how this unfolds and maybe I'll get on the documentary.
Exactly. It honestly might be.
Yeah.
So it says, but the festival seems to be repeating its own history as an improvised disaster after the local government and Isla Mujeres denied knowing anything about it. Okay. So basically, once again, they're doing the exact same thing, which shouldn't surprise anybody. Like, this man has never done the founder or whatever, which by the way, he should be sitting in prison.
Billy
just
McFarlane.
FYI. This guy has never successfully had a music festival.
No, and he's a scam artist. Like,
he's a scam artist. He's known to be a scam artist.
Exactly. It's like I remember that he had originally launched this like credit card company. Mm-hmm. And it was supposed to be for like young people in New York, and some of the perks of this credit card company, if I recall, was like special tickets to like all these like bespoke events and like all of this stuff, and it was like more of like a status symbol to have this card. But then there was like weird shady stuff going on with that company, and then there was like people wondering what was happening there, and then this whole like Fyre Festival, and some of the ideas and concepts were actually kind of good. Like, one of them was this idea of this app for booking artists, like really big artists, like Ja Rule. Well, Ja Rule.
Wasn't Ja Rule part of Fyre
He
Festival?
was, yeah. I thought of Ja Rule, but like, let's say you wanted to book like Tate McRae or like, you know, Madonna or any of these people. Like, typically now you'd have to like go through their team and whatever else. This was like a third party app that would like facilitate the booking to make it easier, right? So the concept was great, and then they were going to promote it with this Fyre Festival, but obviously
it did not go down.
No.
Didn't they just like not even have artists like?
So they had, the crazy thing is, I remember with Fyre Festival, the original, they launched and said all of these artists are the artists that are performing, right?
Yeah.
None of the artists had confirmed.
Yeah.
None of them were like actually legitimately going to this festival. They had sold tickets for like special like bougie villas that didn't exist. Like, it was nuts.
And the tickets were so expensive. And the funny part is that nobody really felt bad for the people that were scammed, because they were all like, obviously very rich people.
Yeah.
Because they were selling these tickets for like ridiculous prices.
Yeah, they were
nuts.
How much. They were nuts. And then on top of it, so the people had bought their tickets, and then they wanted to do like wristbands that were like, you had to top them up with money to like buy drinks and all that sort of stuff, which they had none of them. There was nothing. So they actually launched this because they needed to make some more money quick. So they got people to preload the wristbands. So people were like putting
it's a scam on top of the scam.
Yeah.
To cover up, it's this pyramid scam.
Exactly. So people were like literally, and then they were like buying, like they actually released some special like other packages of like doing something on the boat with some of the artists and all this stuff, selling tickets for that.
About this whole thing.
Yeah, like it was nuts.
Yes,
like,
it was literally a pyramid scheme within the festival.
Yes.
Because usually what happens in a pyramid scheme is like you sell to people, or like a Ponzi scheme or whatever.
Yeah.
You're selling people, and then you use that money. No, but you loan somebody money.
Yeah.
And then in order to pay them back, you borrow money from somebody else.
Yeah.
And then you pay them back, and it's like a constant thing.
Exactly. And it just builds and spirals. But this is nuts.
Yeah, I guess. So the founder, Billy McFarland, who Vanity Fair described as the poster boy for millennials scamming,
Yep.
was convicted of fraud and sentenced to 6 years in prison. He was later released after less than 4 years. Why? I don't fucking know. Okay.
Yeah.
And then basically, and I guess the New York court also awarded $7,200 each to 277 attendees.
But similar to what we just talked about, we did an episode on the OJ case. I would like to know if any of these people actually got any of that money. Because a lot of the time it's like you're awarded or you get a judgment for this, and then the people never get their money.
Yeah.
So like it's just like
knows?
stupid.
And then earlier this week, McFarland appeared on TV. Why are we giving this guy attention? To announce a kind of comeback. He said, Fyre 2 is real. Okay, I'm sorry. You've been crying wolf. I no longer believe you. Okay?
Yeah.
So I guess the tickets were selling for between 1,400 to 1.1 million.
That cannot be. Oh, I guess with the vague promises of luxury yachts. Let's just take a look here.
Who's buying the $1.1 million one?
I have no idea.
Okay. If you buy these, I blame you. Okay? I blame you at this point. Should we buy a ticket? What the fuck is this?
I think it's just like counting down the number of days before it's supposed to launch. Let's look at tickets. Okay. I just want to see the prices.
All right, guys. So we got here Ignite, which is general access.
Mm-hmm.
General access is $1,400.
Yeah.
VIP access is $5,000.
This is
And
USD,
keep
by
in
the way,
mind,
guys.
The island, Isla Mujeres, doesn't know about this festival.
Yep.
Okay, doesn't know what's happening. And then artist access, which I guess maybe you meet artists or whatever.
That aren't confirmed to probably be going.
$25,000. Okay.
That's insane.
And then there's the Fyre starter, which is $1.1 million. What do you get for this?
Does it say? Oh my God, this is actually, like, guys, I just can't.
Can you even be like, hey, like, let me buy something online for 1.1 million?
I don't know. I guess if you have one of those, like, what are they, black Amexes or whatever?
I mean, imagine the transaction fees on that one.
Oh my God.
That alone is someone's salary.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Billy, you might want to work on your website.
Yep, the website's not working too good. I just cannot believe it. I can't believe that also, like, I can't
select the 1.1 million.
Look at some of these prices. Even these are like 12,500. Like, it's just insane.
How is he allowed to do this?
But that's what I don't get. Look,
it's one thing to not be in prison.
Yeah.
But like, you should be banned for life.
Yeah.
Forever doing anything close to this.
And I thought he was.
He should fucking be.
But maybe the way he's getting around it is he's not directly. He's like a secret or a like off the side involvement or something, where he's like, I don't know. It's insane.
So basically, people were like, hello, we need more details here. And he said, people who bought tickets knew they were taking the risk. As in, I'm going to fool people and like they should know that they're taking a risk here.
Exactly.
Apparently spinning the festival's notoriety as a selling point. So yeah, I think this is what they're doing. It's like, it's like because the festival is like, has this reputation. Some people that are made of money.
Yeah.
Trust fund babies, maybe like fucking sons and daughters of billionaires.
People that have so much money, they just don't care.
Yeah.
They're
they
just
probably
like,
made $1 million like by breathing today.
They're doing it for the Riz. Or not the Riz, or what they're doing it for the, I don't know.
Just for like, notoriety. Just like, oh my God, I bought the Fyre Fest tickets. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. God, it's so sad.
Tax the rich, motherfuckers.
I know.
This is what rich people
They're bored.
wasting their money on. Okay. Wealth is wasted on the rich. Okay. Yep. It says, so of course they're not giving any details. I guess he must be involved.
Yeah, I guess so. Because it's like, I don't know.
Let's see here.
It's just shocking.
So, Impression Isla Mujeres, one of the luxury hotels at which Fyre promised accommodation, told The Guardian it had not received any approach or inquiry with regards to the event.
Yeah, so it's a scam. It's a
fucking
literal
scam.
It's crazy.
And then the municipal president of Isla Mujeres said she knew nothing more about the festival than what was online. So essentially, like, they don't have any plans. They're just taking your money once again.
To be fair, I feel like, you know, obviously they're this is another huge scam, but at least like this time, like Isla Mujeres, like we've been there. It's like a bigger island. Like it could, in theory, probably support a small festival. Like I feel like you could get whereas the other island before like didn't have the facilities.
Right.
Whereas I don't know, because Isla Mujeres is like, I don't know.
The thing is, like, it takes so much to run an event.
Huge.
Like, especially a festival. And it's like, there's so many little things that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And clearly these people, they don't pay attention to any of these things.
Exactly.
And a part of me is like, are they even wanting to try to make this happen?
I feel like it's just a fucking scam again.
Exactly. So it's like, obviously their intentions are not good. So it's like, yes, you could maybe, if you had the right intentions, try to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's possible. But like running an event, and like even me, like I try to like organize you know, these trips and stuff. There's so many little things, even with like, you know, fucking 20 people or less going.
True.
There's so many things that you have to like plan and take into consideration, the cost, like everything.
Yeah.
That it's like, you can't just fucking sell a ticket and be like, yeah,
you're good. Yeah.
we're good. That hotel, they'll have enough space.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
You have to like plan. There's so much planning that goes into it. Like think about these, especially some of these festivals, because like maybe it's not going to be quite to this scale, but like festivals like Tomorrowland, like EDC, Shambhala, like all of these like massive festivals, the amount of coordination and planning and vendors, and, you know, also the regional authorities have to be aware, because you're going to have this influx of like, you know, Glastonbury is another one. Glastonbury is so huge though. Like Glastonbury, I think it's like 250,000 people go or something. Like,
oh, it's huge.
That's the size of a city, guys. Like going into one place, you have to think of logistics. You have to think of like, you know, bathroom situation, all of it. Like it's actually crazy.
5,000?
There was a lot of people that showed up.
How much were the tickets at that time?
A lot. Like I think there was like minimum like 5,000 USD.
And then they
probably.
were being given like a ham and cheese sandwich.
That went viral.
Apparently on that day, I remember that day.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh my god, it's so funny."
It's crazy. It's actually like wild when you think about it. I'm gonna watch the documentary again because it was so good.
I think it's worth a second watch.
Yes. Oh my god.
Definitely worth a second watch.
Oh. Craziness.
Yeah. So Fyre Festival 2.
Apparently happening in May.
If you buy a ticket, say goodbye to your money.
Exactly. And the cheapest one was 1,400 USD. Like, I'm sorry guys, like no.
Even if it happens, it's like, you're right. Like, maybe they're able to do it. Because, like, I mean, I doubt they'll sell many.
Yeah.
So, like, they could maybe make it happen. But also, like, if you don't sell many, then you can't get the artists. You can't get all of the things that you were going to get based on what, you know, like, you probably have a certain quota that you need to meet in order to make it happen. And also, like, yeah, Isla Mujeres is not a tiny island, but it's not big.
No, it's not big.
It's not big. And
like,
you have to take a boat from Cancun.
Exactly. I was starting to think about it, and I was like, how many people can fit on that boat from Cancun?
Yeah, no,
like,
you got to get
like,
many boats involved.
Yeah, because you're thinking, like, even if it's smaller, like 5,000 people going to that island, that's a lot of people. Like, like, and probably maybe one of those ships can hold, like, I don't know, 150, 200 people. So, like, you're starting to, like,
think about food wise, like, you'd have to get a lot of food shipped into the island.
Yes.
Like, it's not, you know.
Yeah.
Like, anything to do with, like, a small island, like, you have to think about all of the different things that aren't on the island.
Food, shelter, water.
What if there's, like, medical emergencies? Like, these are all things that you have to take into consideration when you're, like, holding a festival. And it's like, these people are not taking anything into consideration.
No, they're just like, oh, well, I think we'll do it here this year.
God, people have no fucking morals. What is going on?
I know, but I do think, like, how is it legal for him to even sell fucking tickets?
Welcome to the United States of America.
Well, that is very, very true.
I don't know what's going on. Are there any other stories?
There is. This one's a little bit sad.
Oh, God. Oh, right. So, like, I've heard about this woman, and obviously I recognize her, but I don't know much about her.
Okay.
So you tell me.
I will tell you.
I know she died.
So basically we're going to talk about, and I'm going to butcher her last name, Michelle Trachtenberg.
That's probably right.
Yeah, maybe. So her rise to fame, I feel like, really was from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
So she was like,
watch it?
No,
Yes.
I mean, I watched like a couple episodes. I had a couple friends that were like obsessed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I never really watched it.
I never got into it. And I feel like if I watched it now,
Oh, it'd probably be way worse now.
I think it'll be too cheesy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's definitely reruns, so like watch it if you want. But anyway, she became really famous from that. I think she was getting quite a lot of like I want to say early 90s, late 2000s kind of films and stuff because of her.
I do recognize her. Like, yeah.
She's definitely been in like quite a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she actually died like recently. I think it was like
the other day.
Yeah, like a couple days ago.
At the age of 39.
So young.
Young.
Yeah. And at the time they were like, well, we don't know what happened, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, so the cause of death has been ruled undetermined.
Yes.
So that's what's been released. Okay.
Okay.
That article was so clickbaity. It was
I
like,
know.
oh yes, the cause of death has been revealed.
Yeah.
But it was undetermined. So has it been revealed?
And her family apparently has declined an autopsy
Due to religious reasons.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting.
I know, because I don't know about you guys. Like, I would want to know. Like, I'd be like, what was the cause of death? Like, I want to know if it's...
I know, but I guess if you're religious, like you're against the whole idea of like touching the body after
True. It said that she had recently
gotten a
reportedly
liver transplant.
Yeah, she'd had some medical issues,
Yeah.
and that her death appeared to be related to natural causes in regards to those medical issues. It doesn't seem to be. There's no like. There doesn't appear to be any suspicion right now as to what happened. So it just sounds like it's just. Sad situation.
She was also in Gossip Girl.
Yes, that's right. I remember her in Gossip Girl now.
Which one? I mean, not that I watched it.
She was in.
Was she like the sister?
She was like this like arch rival that was like, she like was like butting heads with I think Blake Lively, I want to say.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
yeah. So I guess we don't know how she'd. It's probably like something to do with health or
Yeah.
Sometimes people just die.
This is true. This is
fucking sad.
It is sad, and sometimes it happens when you're at 39. It doesn't have to. You don't have to necessarily be old.
39.
It's only a few years older than us, Rose.
Daniels.
God damn.
Oh my god, it's so crazy because like 39 to me sounds like way older.
Yeah.
But then I realize it's 3 years in our future.
I know, it's kind of.
Isn't that crazy?
The times shit is just like blowing my mind right now because like I also am like. It sounds like 39 to me. I'm like, oh God, that's quite old.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's like way older than me.
Yeah.
Oh no, 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years will be 39. That's crazy.
I know.
That's actually crazy.
I don't like it.
I was like the other day, I was like walking, and I was like, I can't believe I'm 36. Like I literally have these moments like on a regular basis.
I know. I do too because I also partially.
I feel like everything stopped at 30. I'm like, okay, up until 30, I believe my age.
Yeah.
After that, I'm like, what do you mean I'm 36?
I know. You're like, this doesn't seem right.
It seems like 1 year since I turned 30.
I think it's also because I don't know. I just don't feel old.
Me neither.
Well, sometimes.
Well, now we always talk about being old and joke about being old, and we're like, oh my god, our hangovers are so bad because we're old. So obviously, I'm feeling small effects of getting older.
This is true,
but not like I think it's just like our mind because like we don't think we're old.
God damn.
Although like I see all these clips of like young kids that are like, oh, what do you consider old? And then like someone's like, oh, if your birthday starts with like, or if your birth year starts with 19.
Yeah.
Then you're old.
And you're like,
and it's like, oh, great. And then they're like, yeah, like if you're born in 1999, you're old. And it's like, oh,
shit.
I'm fucking ancient.
But if you think about it, it's like now the people that were born in 2000, okay,
are 25 years old this year.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay,
that's disgusting. I want to puke.
It's crazy. That means people that were born, they weren't even in the 1900s. They're in the 2000s. Are like fucking 25. Like
25. And what's crazy is that when people are like, oh yeah, I'm like 30 or like I'm like 29, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like around the same age. No, I'm not. I'm like fucking 6 years older than you.
I know, because like, someone that's like in their 30s, it's like they might have been born. They were born in the 90s. We were born
into the 90s.
I know, we're born in the 80s.
We're born in 88, guys. 88.
Fuck. Anyway, on that positive note, guys.
How do we stop the time?
I know. Let's stop time. And let's stop this.
Stop aging.
This
stop
thing
the aging
happening.
Process.
All
right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Once again, another Trump dump.
Yeah, another Trump.
I apologize. It's the only thing that's in the news. What can I say?
Yeah, this is very true.
We should do I think. Remember when we like the other time when he was president. God, we've been doing this for a long time.
Oh.
And all we did was talk about Trump. And then eventually we're like, okay, we should just stop talking about Trump.
True.
So maybe at one point.
We're going to have to make that call at some point.
We're going to have to, like, maybe we're, like, restricted to maybe 2 Trump stories a month or something.
Yeah.
But it's, like, it's so, and, like, we can't not talk about these
I know, because
issues
it's just crazy. There's just so much happening. So it's like, what next? What's going to happen next?
It's like, if he starts a fucking nuclear war, we can't not talk about it.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you thumbs up this video if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast platform. And what else, Daniels?
And of course, guys, check out our YouTube memberships or our Patreon.
Yes.
Both of them are in the links are in the show notes, and they're both you get exclusive content, ad-free content, a lot of membership perks. So go on over and check those out.
And hopefully we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.